With over 400 celebrity interviews and tons of pop culture nerdiness, Too Opinionated is a safe haven for your inner geek. Find us at Meisterkhan.com or on YouTube under Meisterkhan Pod. And please subscribe. It would really help us out. Thanks, everybody. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Too Opinionated. I'm so excited today. I've got actress Sophia Eleni with me. So welcome, Sophia.
Hey.
Did I get it right?
You did. You got
it right. I've had those situations where I wasn't sure. So I thought if I talk really fast,
you just get through it.
They'll never know. They'll be like, did he say it wrong? Yeah,
no, you got it right. Well done.
Yeah, I'm pretty proud of myself. That's all I had. That's really all I needed. I just wanted to make sure I could say it, and that's it.
I'm proud of you.
Now, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for doing this all the way across the pond. Where in the United Kingdom are you located?
I'm in London. So,
that's what I thought.
Yeah, I'm in London.
Yeah.
And it's a pretty cool city. And yeah, it's great. It's great for work opportunities and things. So we got a.
Did you grow up there?
I did. Hence the very British accent. So I did. I grew up in London, and I've basically lived here my whole life.
Everybody loves a British accent, though.
Yeah, you guys do there in the States.
I know.
I don't know why. I don't know what the deal is with it, but I mean, we'll take it. We'll take it.
I know. We just had this conversation that I haven't made it over there yet, but I will eventually. But I have yet to run into somebody from another country that's going, that West Virginia accent. All right.
I mean, I don't think I've ever met somebody from West Virginia before. I think I've only ever heard it on TV or like on a TV show. It's a bit surreal for me at the moment.
Yeah. You get that Southern. We don't have a real strong drawl, Southern drawl, but we definitely have a distinct accent. I don't know if it's good or bad, but it's distinct.
Or bad. No, it's great. It's great. It's good.
Hey, that was pretty good.
Was it?
Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty good. But all of us over here, I've never run into anybody that says, "Oh, I hate that British accent." Everybody loves it.
I know, and you're casting a lot of British actors as well in the stuff, which I don't know if American actors are very happy about that. But
there's some shows it's all British actors.
I know, it's crazy, isn't it? It works in our favor, I suppose.
Oh, well, I mean. Somebody's got to do it.
I suppose so.
That's only right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I normally start here. Tell me a little bit about how you got into acting. What made you want to become an actress?
Oh gosh, it's such a broad question, isn't it?
Have you made the decision yet?
I was one of those kids, I guess, that just had way too much energy. I was a bit of a crazy little kid, and I decided from an early age I wanted to go to stage school, and I wanted
very nice.
I wanted to do dancing, all of that stuff, and I found a real love for performing and for drama, and so I went to a stage school from a really early age and just expelled all that crazy energy. And then eventually sort of left school and went to a drama school in London and a drama school in Estonia, of all places. So I trained.
Very nice.
I trained out there for a bit, which was really.
Can you speak in an Estonian accent?
Oh, no, no. We had Estonian language lessons out there, and I'm rubbish at learning languages. I'm really not the best person. And I did try my best, but I couldn't. It sort of sounds a bit Russian, but I'm not going to try and do Russian.
Yeah, it does sound a little. I've got a good friend that has helped us with the podcast on occasion, but his like his family is from Estonia. He has not
Really?
Estonian. He is from New York, but his family's from Estonia, and he got to go over there a few years back and actually, kind of visit, see some relatives and that type of thing. And I thought that was pretty neat. But that's what he said. He's like, it's very almost Russian sounding.
It is. I mean, I suppose that's partly because it borders on Russia.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's the Estonians are quite a rare bunch. There's not really many sort of pure Estonian people like left, like nationality wise, which was something interesting that we learned when we went out there.
Yeah. What's the cuisine like in Estonia? Is it to me it seems like maybe seafood based.
It's actually quite heavy.
Really?
So when I lived out there and I was sort of studying and training over there, it was sort of winter time when I was there. So it was like -30. It was ridiculous. Like it was so cold. And all the food cuisine that they had on offer, it was like elk soup, bear sausages. And everywhere you went in
Did you say bear sausages?
I'm not even joking. It was like the weirdest, like medieval kind of cuisine, like stuff I'd never heard of.
I mean, that sounds like the stuff you would eat, say, in a Dungeons and Dragons movie.
I knew this was going to come up.
I mean, wouldn't you?
Yeah, probably.
Come around the fire. Let's have some, bear sausages.
Yeah, I suppose. I wasn't brave enough to try those. I didn't try.
How could you not try bear if you had the opportunity?
They're cute and cuddly, aren't they?
Yeah, that'd be a tough one. I'd have trouble with that one.
I don't know. Not for me. I'm not very brave trying.
Even as, I'm not vegetarian, so I eat meat. But even though I eat meat, I'm not sure I could go bear. No. That seems like a leap.
It really was. And I couldn't do it.
But, if I'm traveling through, I don't know, like a Forgotten Realms type of setting or something, maybe, come upon a tavern, maybe I'd have a hankering for some bear sausages.
I'd only do it if it was necessary for a role. If I actually had to, I'd be like, look, are you paying me to do this?
Yeah, fine. You can be in this movie, but
you have to.
You're eating bear.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. So you grew up doing theater. Do you still prefer theater over, say, a television show or a movie?
Having started out in theater, I will always have a love for it.
Yeah.
There's nothing like the energy of being live and being in a room with the buzz and the energy of real people,
Yeah.
It's like a kind of, you transcend your own energy out, and it's almost like this incredible experience, like out of body experience when you're on stage. I will always love it for that kind of excitement and that adrenaline. With television and film, which is sort of really what I've ended up doing with my career. I don't know. It's like you just.
I wasn't going to say that, but it does seem to have went that way.
I mean, it has, and I think I just relish it so much, and I think when you really enjoy something, you kind of go on a momentum of that, and people pick up on that, and it's been fantastic. I mean, I think television and film is my bag, really. Now it's become what I love. It's very, very different to theatre. You can still have that energy and transcending, all of those emotions and that, inner spark, that's something. But it's much smaller. It's much more contained on film. and I find that really interesting. So I would say I've become much more into TV and film now as an actor than theatre, but I still do theatre. I still come back to it, you know. But yeah, most of my work is TV and film now.
Can you sing? Are you doing musicals?
Do you know what? I in my early days when I left drama school, I actually did a musical opera.
Can you sing opera?
Yes. I mean,
that's impressive.
I am a singer. I was classically trained, but musical theatre wasn't something I particularly aspired to do. I was always more interested in, I suppose, straight acting, sort of television, film, that kind of realm. But yes, I do sing. I'm also a songwriter and a sound. You're not. Yes.
That's very impressive. So have you ever released music?
I haven't, only because I feel like if I started doing that, I would have almost 2 careers to worry about.
What's wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with that. I think I just had more passion for pursuing the acting. But I do write music, and I do I do sound design for a lot of theatre as well in London. So, I'm very into like the atmospheric, creating the tone and the world of a place through music. Yeah.
That's pretty amazing. So have you ever tried, do you write as well? Because that would lend itself, like if you wanted to write a play and you already knew how to do the music part, that would seem like that would help.
Well, it's interesting you mentioned that. I did do I'm still in sort of the process of it at the moment, but I did do a one-woman show 2 years ago, literally just before the pandemic hit.
Say that's not scary at all.
I was terrified.
Yeah.
I was absolutely terrified, literally. But yeah, and then this play, I didn't write it myself, but it was a collaboration between a writer actually in the States called Ivan Fort, who's based in New York. But we collaborated, and he wrote this concept about a woman who becomes a refugee and her story of traveling across Europe. And myself and the director and Ivan, we developed this character, and we dramatized her, and we'd be in a room and we'd develop her story, and through that I said, oh, by the way, guys, I'm a sound designer. I've really got
this. just in case you didn't know.
Just in case. Well, they were like, no, we don't know. We didn't know. So I did the sound design. I composed the score for that play as well as acting in it. So that, I suppose, that was using my skills. I was doing
that's exactly what that.
Yeah.
That's very impressive. So if you released, let's say just a song, we won't worry about the album yet, but just a song, is it going to be more classical, or are you going to, do you do pop? What's your genre?
My genre, I'd say, is more alternative.
That's what I would have picked for you. If I had to just pick one, I would have said alternative.
Really?
Yeah, that's the vibe I get.
Oh,
I don't know what that says about you, but that's what I get.
Not like mad, just a bit out there. No, I really like trip hop. That's sort of my theme. So I don't know if you know, like Massive Attack, Bjork, those kind of.
Oh yeah, they're completely normal.
Yeah.
Now I really want you to release at least a song, but preferably an album.
Well, I can send you my SoundCloud and
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I will. I'll let you know.
So you've already got music there. We need to get that.
But I'm on SoundCloud as Sophia Eleni. So I mean,
Okay.
On there, but
so you're there.
I'm there. But yeah, and I'd say Kate Bush is a massive influence for me.
She's very big right now.
I literally was into Kate Bush before everyone else was like running up that hill. You know, I said, no, guys, I already was a fan.
They're bandwagon.
I'm like, no, you can't now make Kate Bush.
Well, now if you say you're into it, it seems like, oh yeah, right, yeah,
it's
sure
so
you are.
fake, and it just really annoys me. I'm like, oh, for God's sake. But anyway, that's just me. I was like such a fan from the age of like 12 or something, you know.
You know, we need a theme song for the podcast. So I'll throw that out.
Hey, yeah. Okay. What vibe are you going for? I'll write you a little
song. Apparently alternative.
Oh, right, with a bit of opera in there. Like
oh, yes. Actually, operatic theme song would be pretty impressive.
It would certainly be different.
It would be different.
Yeah.
All right, I've put the bug, in your ear. So if you're inspired,
I'll think about it.
Yeah. What are you working on? I got myself writing a theme song for this doofus in West Virginia, his podcast.
Oh.
Do you play instruments?
Okay, I suppose technically, I'm not like, I haven't passed like grade 7 piano or whatever.
Right.
I'm sort of self-taught on the piano.
Yeah. That's not easy on a piano. Most of the time, if you're self-taught, it's like a guitar. Piano is a little more difficult, I think.
Yeah, I suppose so. I mean, I don't know. I remember just like looking at a keyboard once and being like, oh, that looks interesting, and begging my mum. I was like, please, can you buy me a keyboard for Christmas, please? And then I got one for Christmas, and I was so obsessed with like making sounds and music, and from such a young age, I think I just started writing, and making music. Obviously, it started off, it was terrible, but as I got older, my tastes became more sophisticated, more mature. I started getting really influenced.
Do you play by ear?
Yes, play by ear.
Yeah. I'm impressed with people that can do that. My stepson does that. Like, you can hand him any instrument, give him 20 minutes, and he'll play it.
That's mad, isn't it? Like,
yeah, it amazes me because I have no musical ability, none. My poor aunt spent 2 years wasted of her life trying to teach me to play piano. Really? It finally got to the end. We were just looking at each other and going, we have to stop. This isn't going to happen.
Oh, gosh.
But now my mother plays and is just, unbelievable. And she plays by ear and does really
good. Really? Oh.
Yeah. But no, nothing. I come from a musical family. It just totally skipped me.
It was like skipped a generation. Is your son quite musical?
Well, yeah. It's like all the kids, everybody behind me, but me and my brother, nothing. Yeah. That seems unfair.
I'm sure you have other talents elsewhere.
Apparently, I've got podcasting, but like if you told me 40 years ago to pick a talent, I'm not sure this would have been it.
No, but you have to be a people person, don't you? You have to get on.
You do.
Draw stuff out,
I always said that if I had a superpower, it would be like the lamest superpower, but it would be, I've got all this useless knowledge just stuffed into my head. Like I can tell you what people have been in and just geeky, nerdy stuff nobody cares about. And then I was like, podcasting. And now it comes in handy.
Well, it does, and you've got a big following.
Yeah. Somebody's listening. God help them, but they're listening.
You'd hope so.
They're like, well, we're not now.
Oh.
So my mother and through my mother, she got my wife into it. Big Call of the Midwife or call the Midwife fans.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I always play the game with the family. You know, I go around, I'll be like, this is who I'm talking to. Have you seen them in anything? And sometimes they have, sometimes they haven't. But they both knew you from that.
Oh,
It was like a Christmas episode or something, right?
yeah, so Call the Midwife. I mean, yeah, you guys have it in the States, don't you, on PBS?
Oh, yeah. Yep, it comes on PBS.
Yeah, it's a very popular program over here.
Apparently here too.
Apparently, yeah. But yeah, it was the Christmas special, which is always the kind of extended episode.
Yeah.
And everyone looks forward to, and it's the second most watched television program in the UK on Christmas Day after the Queen's speech.
Really?
So, yeah. So it's quite
big time.
Yeah, it was a big deal. They were so lovely and welcoming, the cast, and I really enjoyed it. But yes, I played a lady called Maria Kofopoulos, who was a young
very fancy.
Yeah, she's quite feisty.
Oh, yes.
Quite sophisticated lady, quite passionate. But yes, she comes in, she's having a baby. She thinks she knows it all, and then it's not quite as easy as she thinks.
Surprise.
Well, because things go wrong during her pregnancy. You know, she thinks, I'm a Greek woman, I can have babies. And
see, that's why I would think, I'm surprised that show is so popular, because there's issues with pregnancies like every episode.
I know, you'd think it would put people off.
No, they love it. They love the drama. And it's well written.
No, you're right. It's about the drama. And also it's quite a heartwarming program.
Yes.
Because you
yeah.
For the characters, and it sort of pulls on your heartstrings a lot of the time. The story and things.
Well, and it used to like there was a period of time where I used to say, I wish everything didn't just have a happy ending. I wish it could be this way and stuff. But then that got popular, so now there's a ton of stuff that doesn't end well, or it's kind of, bittersweet and that stuff. So now we flip the other way. Everybody's like, I just want, heartwarming, happy endings, the stuff that you don't leave and it stays with you in a negative way for a long time.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of those shows that, a lot of the time it ends very well.
Most of the time it does.
Yeah. Not always, but most of the time.
It does highlight, interesting facts about history in East London.
Yeah.
Because it's a period drama. So it crosses the 1950s, and at the moment it's 1960s, which was the episode I was in, the 60s.
Were you more excited about booking the role on a popular show, or about getting to dress up in like 60s stuff?
Do you know what? I mean, it was my first BBC gig.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it was always my dream to work with the BBC. I think the exciting bit was working with really fantastic talent. I mean, Jenny Agutter was the star child of The Railway Children, which is a film I absolutely adore. And to just have even worked with her was incredible. But yes, I fell in love quite literally with quite a lot of the clothes I was wearing.
Yeah.
Some were hideous, but
of course. Did they allow you to keep any of them?
I didn't ask. I didn't think to ask. I had there's a nice scene where I had a very, very pretty chiffon kind of gown on, like a floral pattern. I really wanted to keep it, but I didn't.
See, now let me run this by you. I've asked a few people, but it's been a while since I've asked. So this is my idea of how I'm going to break into the entertainment business.
Okay.
All right. So nobody ever asks for that stuff. So once you book the role, I don't have anything to do with that. You have other people to help you book the role. But once you book it, then I come in and I negotiate all of this stuff. Be like, well, she'll do it, but she gets to keep 2 of the outfits.
Oh.
That'd be my role. I haven't figured out how to get paid yet, but that would be my role.
So you'd work with the agents, with the actors?
I work with the agents, but the only thing that I negotiate is like the nonsense stuff. You get to keep, like if you're in something and you had some type of funky, ears or something like that, I would negotiate that you get to keep the ears.
Well, I did do a horror film once, and I was playing a vampire, and they did like special effects with like my teeth, so they molded my teeth.
Oh, so you got to keep those?
I got to keep the teeth. So every Halloween, I scared the.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's the reason.
I scare the pants off a lot of people. And I put them on.
Yeah, you've got a Halloween costume every year.
And they're custom made to me. So
well, I bet you're a scary vampire.
I often play characters that are quite unassuming. So you look at them and you're like, oh, she's not a threat.
Right.
And all of a sudden she's like, I'm gonna murder.
Yes, I think those are the scary ones to me.
Yeah, the unassuming. The sort of the wolf in sheep's clothing.
Yes.
That's my favorite to play.
Yeah. I think you'd be good at that because nobody would suspect you.
No, I got ID'd today just buying a bottle of wine, and I was like, "Are you serious?" I was like, "I'm very flattered, but
Are you though? Everybody always says that. Oh, that's very flattering. But were you flattered or were you annoyed?
No, I was flattered because
okay, good.
That how other people gave me an idea of how other people view me is good for my casting because I often get cast very young.
I haven't been carded in 30 years.
Oh.
And like I watch them card other people and they're like, I'll listen. They'll say, well, we have to card everybody. And I'm thinking, well, they didn't card me.
You can't win them all.
Can't win them all. Can't win them all. I bet back when I had hair, I would have got carded. But that was like the 80s.
Oh.
It's been a while. Maybe, that's not true. It's probably early 2000s is when it finally started to. I didn't appreciate it when I had it. So at some point, it was just like, I'm out of here, buddy.
Maybe you've got a bit of a moustache going on. You've got a bit of.
I've got a little bit. You can't really see it on here, but because I just shaved today. But normally, I've got a little bit of stubble through here.
You still got, manly hair and.
Yeah. Oh, everywhere except my head.
That I can't help you with.
It's not fair. It's just not fair. But back in the 80s, it was glorious.
Did you have really long hair?
Well, it was down to maybe my shoulders and it was wavy, curled up a little bit, but I had it feathered back. So it was very 80s, maybe even like late 70s type hair. Oh. But I hated it. But now looking back, I'm like, that was pretty good hair.
Oh, it sounds like you have locks or something. Lots of hair.
Yeah. And I was like, my son kind of has it now. I mean, he styles it different because the styles are different now, but he's kind of got that type of hair. And I'm like, you need to really appreciate that hair because your dad and your granddad do not, and your uncle, no hair. So enjoy it now.
Oh, God. Then you think he's going to go the same way?
Yeah. I'm worried that he is because I don't think he'll handle it as well.
He's going to be editing this and thinking,
Yeah, because he really likes his hair, and he should. It's great hair, but I'm here to tell him it doesn't look good.
Well, I always keep my hair long, and it's funny because like when I'm, if I'm in hair and makeup or something, they never know what to do with my hair because there's so much of it, and it's really thick as well.
I was gonna say it's thick.
Yeah, but thankfully I've never had to be in a role where they've had to cut my hair or anything. They always make it work. I think it's more versatile to have longer.
Well, so if you put it in a braid, how long is it?
Let's have a look, shall we? I mean, it still comes.
So it's pretty long. It's like halfway down your back, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty long.
Yeah, I mean it's long. It's long, and
mine is much cooler.
I'm
like
sure it is.
on a hot day.
You've got that advantage.
I have that advantage. But I can't do the good things with it. I can't do anything with it.
You can't.
It's easy.
Yeah.
But you can do like a billion different hairstyles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It works.
I mean, do you do a lot of like the fancy braids and stuff, or do you just leave it straight?
Honestly, I actually don't understand anything about hair, makeup.
Me either.
Like, great, we've got that in common. I honestly haven't got a clue. But hair and makeup can make me look great, and I don't know how they have the patience to do all of that amazing stuff.
But if that was what I did for a living, I would like people with like great hair, because I'd be like, oh, I can do all kinds of stuff with this.
Well, call the midwife. They called me in for a screen test.
Yeah.
Before we shot, and they spent 4 hours just playing with my hair. They were like, what are we going to do with it? What can we do? Like, what's that? And they spent so long, and they decided in the end on ponytail with this amazing, like,
oh, it had a bump?
Perfect queef. They spent ages doing it. I mean, I wouldn't have the patience, but they're amazing.
Yeah. I know that's the problem. It's kind of like if you go to a really good hairdresser, they fix it up and everything, but the problem is you'll never be able to replicate it.
No, I know. And then if you get it styled really nicely in a certain way, you have to keep going back to get it styled the same way, and you end up just spending a fortune getting it.
That's how they get you.
It is. It really is.
So going back, if I could have negotiated you that dress, would that have had value to you?
Yes, because I would have kept it. I would have worn it actually, because I quite like boho, like floral style.
Yeah.
So I definitely would have worn it. And every time I would see it, I'd know it was a genuine vintage item. So it had some value there as well.
See? I think there's a career there. I just need to look into it.
I think you should, Yeah.
Why
not? Just pitch yourself with loads of agents and just say, hey, look, why not? Give me a go. I'm great. Yeah.
I get like one attempt, because my end game would be like, all right, we're out then. She can't have the dress. We're out. We're walking away. And then I would immediately lose all my clients.
Before signing the contract or after?
This will be after.
After the talent signed the contract.
Well, yeah, I guess once you sign it, you're stuck. So it has to be before.
Oh gosh. I don't think the actor would be very happy about that, though.
No, I don't think I'd keep. I don't think I'd keep many clients doing that.
No, I don't think. I know I wouldn't be happy. I'd be like, what?
I talk a good game, but I'd probably be in there being like, "Come on, man! Don't let me go back into empty-handed. Give me something. Give me a pair of shoes or something."
Oh,
yeah. I think there's something there, though.
Yeah. Well, why not? Never say never.
Never say never. So my wife likes the boho styles. That's kind of what she wears a lot of times, and which is kind of 60s, 70s kind of style. So I think that I always tell her I like bell bottoms. We don't see enough bell bottoms anymore.
And flares and like all of that. Yeah.
I think that's a well, I'll tell you, some of it is a good look. Not all of it. It's better than the 80s, because I don't know how the 80s were overseas, but here it was very layered.
Yes.
There was a lot of pop collars, and it just didn't, it just, I didn't think, looking back, I'm like, that really wasn't a very good look.
A lot of like spandex and like
too many layers.
Leg warmers.
Yes.
What was that?
What exactly did you need those leg warmers for?
Why?
Yeah, it's hot enough. You're going to get warm. Yeah, it was a dumb look. But we all loved it at the time.
And every time it makes me think of those, those fitness videos where they're like, and 1, 2. Yeah, like that's what I think of when I think of 80s. Oh.
Yeah, because that was it. Big hair and leg warmers. And like the worst fitness videos ever. They're hilarious.
Oh my God.
But I'm not sure how fit you got watching them.
No.
No. All right. So I know you can't say much, but I got a few Dungeons and Dragons questions for you. I'm trying to make them vague so it does, because I won't get you in trouble.
Okay.
I promise. I want to know everything, but I also want to be surprised. So I don't want to mess it up.
Yeah.
I don't want to mess it up. So have you ever played Dungeons and Dragons?
No.
Really?
It's the honest answer. I've never played. I know of it, obviously. Like I knew of it, and everyone always raves about it, but I've never played it.
Don't you think you should?
I think I probably should. I've actually had people invite me to play it, and I've just sort of never got around to doing it. But yes, I think I probably should.
The cast didn't get together and have a game?
Maybe I wasn't invited. I don't know. When I was there, we actually didn't have a game. But
it seems like maybe Chris or Michelle or somebody should have been heading that. They should have been like, hey, come on over to my trailer. I'm DMing today.
Do you know, we didn't have time.
No, probably not. It was probably a very quick shoot.
It was. But also, I mean, there was a lot of waiting around. You know, we have to set up quite long, complicated shots and things. But during that time, you just want to rest. You really just want your own space, and you just, you know.
Well, yeah, I'm sure. All joking aside, I'm sure that, yeah.
You know, film shoots are long days. Long days.
Yeah, they're exhausting.
Yes, they are.
How long did you spend on set?
So I was there for about a week.
Oh, that's not too bad. Okay.
No, it was.
It's probably a very busy week, though.
It was very busy, and also it was. So we shot. When did we shoot last May? We shot last May, and it was still like that time where we were doing COVID tests like all the time, and you know that was time consuming as well.
That may have been why he didn't throw the Dungeons and Dragons party.
Well, I think, you know, they wanted to kind of keep us
safe,
healthy and safe. So we weren't really getting a chance much to mingle as much as we would have liked. But it was still fantastic, amazing.
I feel like you need to play it before the movie comes out next year.
Okay, I promise I'll play it. I promise. I know, I feel really bad. Someone's like, surely you played it. I'm like, no, no, I actually haven't.
So when you act, do you like to improv?
It depends how much freedom the director will give you.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, I've worked on some things. Like I just finished a television show last week. And the director was very open to improv. And so I enjoyed being able to do that, you know. It was a scene like full of chaos where I'm trapped in a car and
very nice.
Blood like all over my face, there's fire engines, ambulances. It's a program called Casualty, which is quite popular TV soap here in the UK.
Did you survive? Because with the name.
It's possibly not looking good for her. She might not have her legs. She might have her legs.
Oh my gosh, that sounds terrible.
I know, quite traumatic. But yeah, because a scene like that, you know, you're given your lines and that's it. But because in that scenario, you would be really like go into shock. You can't feel your legs. You know, so you actually were given the freedom to improvise and you know, and that worked really well for that scene. But it just totally depends on.
I mean, that's what Dungeons and Dragons basically is. You're just improving.
It is improv, yeah, but they want to stick to the script. There wasn't much like room, I suppose.
No. I'm sure they had a.
But I mean, for the character that I played, she's a kind of half cat, half. She's a sort of feline creature.
Are you a cat person?
I am. I love cats.
Okay.
So that worked.
Yeah.
Thank gosh. But yeah, I mean, I had a lot of room to improv there, I suppose, because I could play with my physicality and how was I going to move, and I created that character through the physicality. So that was
that's what Dungeons and Dragons is. You're creating characters.
Yeah, no, completely. I understand the concept of it. I've just never played it, but yeah, no, I mean, completely. For that, in that sense, I was able to improv a lot.
I think we're gonna have to get a game going and get you in.
Oh no. Okay. All right. I actually promised a friend that I would play with them as well. They have
okay, very good.
So I need to. He's probably going to watch.
I have a feeling you're going to get asked some.
Yeah.
I mean, are you prepared for what's coming when this comes out? I mean, it's.
I know the backlash is going to be huge.
Yeah.
Make Dungeons and Dragons.
I just think you're going to. I think you're going to get a whole new group of fans. That's what I think.
Oh, well, come at me.
You're going to have to start doing conventions. And if you had me there ahead of time, you could have went as your cat person because I'd have got you the outfits.
Okay. Oh, hang on. Have you gone?
I'm still here. Did you freeze up? All right, so we're back. That's the beauty of Zoom. And we're like, it's not like you're down the street.
No, you're literally.
Yeah.
Well, a long way away.
It's like, let's see, in London, it's probably Sunday there, something like that.
You know what? Today feels like a Sunday. I've been sitting all day. It's been brilliant.
Well, that's kind of exciting that you're playing. Did you get to do stunts? Did you get to do some cool things?
I did. Obviously, with a fantasy film, there's a lot of special effects. There's a lot of, green screen, all of that. So, I mean, with my character, they did a lot of. I did a lot of mocap stuff.
Yeah.
So,
I've seen some stuff with you geared up in some of that.
Yeah, mocap's great fun because you can literally be anything, and you can be like a creature, or you can be a human in a kind of weird kind of fantasy setting. You can literally be anyone or anything, and improv and do your own thing. But yeah, I mean, that was the joy of that role, I guess, was being able to transform myself into this kind of feline creature, this kind of half woman, half cat thing. I think it's going to look awesome. Because
I know I'm excited to see the character. I think that'll be fun.
I mean, what was awesome was they used facial motion capture, so I did a lot of work with my face. So any kind of expression, this kind of animatronics thing would like match my movement.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah, it was really awesome.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. Were the sets pretty elaborate?
We actually, well, when the bits I was shooting, we were in Northern Ireland. And if any of you guys have seen Game of Thrones,
of course,
the Winterfell castle is actually a real place. It's not a set. It's an actual castle. Yeah, it's an actual castle. And we shot in the castle basically, and in the grounds just outside the castle. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Like some of it was like genuine places, like actual locations where they didn't have to like dress it up or anything. But a lot of it was also shot in massive studios. So they've built all this artificial interior, and it's a studio. So
that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's a bit of both. It's incredible, like absolutely incredible, like the lengths and the detail and the effects. The people that work and design all of these things, the animatronics, the whole set design. mind-blowing, really is.
Yeah, well, as someone that has, grew up playing, through the 80s with my wonderful hair, I was playing with, but all we want is a good Dungeons and Dragons movie. They've made some attempts in the past and they've been okay.
Yeah.
But the special effects really hadn't caught up to the point where they could do it right. But now they can. I mean, the trailer for this looks amazing.
It's going to be good. I think it's going to be good.
Yeah.
And it's exciting, and it's got a fantastic cast as well.
Oh my gosh, what a cast. And that includes you.
But I mean, like, it's got a really interesting cast, and it's a really good bag. And I think.
Have you seen the trailer?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
It's got an owlbear in it.
I know.
If you went to a tavern and they had owlbear sausage, would you eat that?
No. I'm not brave. I don't like trying new things either. I always go to the same restaurant. I'll order the same thing.
Yeah. I'm that way. I'm very routine.
Yeah.
My wife, I was telling you, she travels a lot. So she spent some time in China, or back when they did the Olympics. And she sent me this picture, and she's eating a scorpion that's on a stick.
Oh my God.
The worst thing I've ever seen in my life. But she tried. I mean, she didn't eat the whole thing, but she tried it. I would not be able to do that.
No. That's probably a very acquired taste as well, I would imagine.
Yeah. Well, she said it tastes like chicken.
Really? They eat tarantula as well in some places.
Yeah, I couldn't do that.
They say tarantula tastes like chicken.
Everybody says everything tastes like chicken.
I know. I
don't believe any of it.
I heard, when you hear things like the grapevine, I heard that, not that I spend my time hanging around with these people, but I heard that when people eat other people, we taste like pork.
Oh, really?
Apparently.
Yeah, I could see that. I'm guessing that there's a lot of fat and salt is what I'm guessing. I'm probably delicious.
Oh my God. I don't want to think about it. It's quite gross.
It's terrible. It's just terrible.
Cannibalism. I'm not quite sure.
What is your Catwoman eating?
Probably a lot of fish.
Yeah. She probably on the fish side.
Yeah.
What's the name of your character?
She's not got a name specifically. She's just part of the Tabaxi tribe.
Oh, yeah.
The Tabaxis, they're like these really feminine kind of feline cat creatures. So yeah, she's basically a Tabaxi mother. That's what she is. The Tabaxi mother.
Oh, that's pretty exciting. I'm so excited to once the film comes out, you have to come back so we can actually talk about it.
Oh yeah, I'd love to. Well, hopefully when they've got the premiere and everything, I'll be over, and a good chance to I love the States. A good chance to come over. Yeah,
you definitely need to. I mean, I'm sure you'll be out in LA. They do a lot of those premieres at the Chinese theater.
Yes, it's a place I have been to. I have been to Hollywood.
I usually stay at the Roosevelt. That's like across the street from the Chinese theater when I go out to LA. Because I like being in the middle of everything. Yeah,
well, absolutely. I mean, there's so much buzz about it. It's fantastic. Yeah.
So there great. You go.
Yeah. Well,
we'd still be 3 hours apart. It's still a 3-hour time difference. But we'd be closer
though, wouldn't we?
We'd be closer.
What's the time difference? It's like 8 hours or something between us.
Well, it's 5 between. Yeah, for you and me, but you're 5 ahead. LA is 3 behind. So it'd be 8 hours would be your difference with LA. That's right. How's it look? Is everything okay?
COVID hasn't made a big comeback, so we're okay.
Around 3 o'clock, you need to duck under your desk.
God. Yeah.
I'm old enough that when I was in school, we used to do the nuclear attack drills where we had to hide under the desk.
What?
Yeah, they would like play the siren that would go off, and it wasn't at the school, it was like in the town. And then you would hide under your desk, like that is going to save you, like something in that desk is going to save you from a nuclear attack.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Need to do with have a lot of gun crime over there.
Well,
right?
yeah, now, unfortunately, these poor kids are having to learn how to hide from that nonsense. But yeah, back then.
Back then it was nuclear.
It was nuclear.
What is going on with the world? I just don't understand.
It's so we could have a whole podcast about that. It's a mess. See,
isn't it?
It's awful. Like stuff is going on that you would watch on a TV show. You wouldn't think is real.
Yeah, well, I mean, we were saying COVID. I mean, it was like something out of the film Contagion. Contagion was the third most watched Warner Brothers film of all time when COVID happened.
Isn't that nuts? I couldn't do it. Like I knew you saw those things, everybody's watching all the, those type of movies. And I was like, I don't want to watch any of that.
Literally, like that was what happened.
Yeah. Why are you watching it? We're living it.
I know. Mad times. But you know what I'm grateful for? Is that the industry has bounced back from all of that rubbish from COVID.
The entertainment industry really did a pretty good job handling it because they stepped up. They did all these protocols to keep everybody safe, but they did it pretty quickly. Like we didn't have a huge gap where nothing was getting made.
No, they tided it over, didn't they? They were able to.
Yeah.
They were very resilient. Unfortunately, for theatres, that wasn't really the case. We had a lot of theatres in the UK that closed down, which was really sad.
Yeah, we ran into that here. Theaters, restaurants, they were hit pretty hard.
Yeah, the cultural scene just went.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's a shame because we don't want to lose. That's the stuff we don't want to lose.
Exactly.
Yeah. I know. Now we've ended on a down note.
Oh God, no! But we're resilient. You have to take from it.
Yes. It's the hope. It's the hope.
It's we're still going, and films are still being made, and theatres are still making musicals and fantastic shows.
Is there a genre that you haven't done yet that you want to do?
Oh, that's a really.
Because you've done horror.
I've done horror.
You've done drama.
I've done lots of drama.
I've done fantasy.
I've done fantasy. I've done a lot of fantasy. I've done comedy as well. Do you know what? I'd say maybe it's something that's kind of played on my mind, but I don't think I'd be very good at it. Although some people say you should do it. You should do it. It's stand-up comedy.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I have a few friends, people that.
All right. I'm on board. Let's do it.
Like, yeah, that's something like a lot of.
Are you working on a set just in case? You got to have like a tight 10 minutes.
Do you know what though? I do have some good stories. That the best comedy routines are always based on like true stories. Like they're not just.
That's right.
They're always like things that actually happen that are hilarious. And I've got some horrific but hilarious dating stories.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, you need to tell those.
Oh gosh, but like you'd think, oh my God, if that person ever saw me doing that routine, they'd know I was talking about them.
Well, but you delight so many more people and you'd only upset the one. Or maybe the one in his family. Or their family. Is it worth it? You have to balance that out.
I don't know. It's something I've kind of thought, oh, that would be cool, but I don't know if I'm
I mean,
brave
you could totally do it as you could do it like if you're nervous getting up on stage, which maybe you're not because you do theater, you could do it like a YouTube channel. Then you
Yes,
wouldn't have the direct.
yes. I mean, most of the comedy stuff I do is TV sort of screen based. It's, you know, so yeah, I mean, yeah, that could work. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're getting me some ideas now in my head.
See, there you go. There you go. So are your dating stories, are they like bad dating stories because of the other person, or were you the bad person? Because you know, we everybody screws up a date sometime in their lives.
Oh God, yeah, no, completely. I mean, I'd say they were probably bad because they were more into me than I was into them. And it was like this one guy traveled up from Wales or something, like completely different area from me. He traveled all the way that way. And you know, when you speak to someone on the phone and you get on really, really well, and then you meet the person and it's completely different. He literally spent the whole day with me in London, and then he was just really like different to how he kind of looked. He had like, this cool motorcycle. He had like was really good looking. And I met him, and he was just a bit creepy. He had like these
but massive... Did you see? Did he show you his motorcycle? Did that help?
No, he turned up, and he was just like not even like interested in London, and he was just so boring. It was terrible. Yeah. It was terrible.
I think that's what gets a lot of guys. I think is if you're boring, that date's not going to go well. You gotta step it up.
I had to spend the whole day with him because he came to see me in a show in London. We had to stay the whole day together, and I was like,
"You sucker!" God. Good for him though, because he probably planned that out. He's like, "I'm going to drive up from. Maybe we spend the day together."
I mean, it didn't end well. It ended with him getting off on the train, looking at me through the train window. I was desperate to get rid of him by this point. And he just stood there and waved as the train went, and I was just like my phone, like
you were done.
Look, I know I was probably a really evil cow, but it was just so awkward. I just couldn't bear him.
So you only went out like 3 or 4 more times, or?
I never saw him again. I had to get the worst bit. I had to get my mum to send him and draft a text to send him because I didn't know what to say. I was like, "How?"
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, awful.
That's okay. That's bad.
I know. I'm so evil.
That's bad. I'll give you one of mine. This is from back when I was in college. So I have no worries that they're going to see this. So I had a roommate that set me up. He had a girlfriend that was in another state. She went to college in a different state, but they were probably 3 hours away, so it wasn't too far away. But he set me up on a date with one of her friends. So we drove to the college, went to like a movie and then to dinner. You know, it was a whole thing. And she did not like, it wasn't, she did not like me. It was very obvious, like immediately that she was not interested at all, but we were kind of stuck. So the date started, and, you know, I'm probably 19, 20 years old. And so I'm offering to, I was like, oh, let me pay for this. Let me get the movie tickets and the popcorn, all this. Let me pay for dinner and all this. But she was like angrily, you know, she was letting me pay, but just very angry the entire time. So the conversation was like every time we would talk, she would say something that kind of just put me down a little bit. But she was just angry. She was so angry. I was like, why are you so angry?
She's got issues. She's got issues. You know? Sounds like
I was like, did they force you on this date? Well, so by the end of it, you know, at the very end, and I don't remember, maybe we were buying drinks or something like that, and they came and they're like, is this one check? Asking for me and her, and I was like, no. You can split it. But that's not even the worst part of the date. So the worst part of the date was we didn't get along. So the evening ended, but we're out of town and we're staying in his girlfriend's dorm room, right? So I'm in a dorm room with him and his girlfriend, and I'm just sleeping on the floor all night. Well, their date went very well. So it was awkward and awful.
That sounds awful.
It was. So that's my bad dating story. I don't know if it's funny, but although looking back, it was a little bit humorous that it's like I paid the whole night, and then at the end I was like, yep. I think I finally got the message. I'm done.
It's not funny when you're in the moment, but afterwards, when you've had enough time.
Oh, it's hilarious. And aren't you glad, though? Aren't you glad you had some bad dates? Because they're the best stories.
They are the best stories. And also when you find the one, then you're like, oh, this is so easy. You know?
And I know that I'm somebody's bad date story. I may have been hers.
Yeah.
Oh. You know, maybe he's already doing stand-up. It's like I drove up from Wales.
He didn't have much charisma.
She didn't like my bike.
There was nothing there behind those eyes. There was nothing that his eyes were literally like that. There was nothing there.
Was he nervous? Maybe he's nervous.
I don't know what he was, but it was.
I'm like in his corner. I don't even know the guy.
No. It feels so bad for having got him to come all that way. Anyway, never mind. It's his choice.
Yeah, you need to. I just from that story, I'm going to say you should do some stand-up. Why not? Give it a try.
Do something that scares you every day. Good for you. So maybe I will challenge myself. That's an area I've not dabbled in.
I'll send you little inspirational quotes to motivate you. You know, seize the day.
Absolutely. I live for quotes. Yeah.
Do you really, or are you like most of us and be like, don't send me a quote?
I'm the kind of person, I actually find quotes. I print them out. I'm not joking.
Oh, you're the one sending them out.
I'm the one sending them out. Yeah, sorry. People are probably.
Well, if they're like, here's the difference. If they're just generic, they have to mean something. Yes, if they're actual quotes.
It has to resonate with you.
Yes, that's right.
You know, not just, oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just a bit like, oh. But no, it has to resonate.
See, I like quotes from movies. You know, so that's more like it should be. I'd like to say something cool. It's like, oh yeah, I like historical quotes and, you know, from, you know, these unbelievable people and stuff. That's not me. I'm like quoting Tombstone or Monty Python, something like that. That's
okay. Yeah.
Which probably is the reason I'm a lot of people's bad dates. They're like, oh, he just kept saying quotes from movies.
Oh gosh. Or people that talk in riddles. And you're like, what are you talking about? You know, people that just.
Have you went out with people that talk in riddles?
Well, this is another story. I won't go into it.
That's for next time.
That's for next time. That's episode 2.
That's episode 2.
I had no
you dated the Riddler?
What do you want? Speak English, you know. God. Yeah.
The date didn't go well. She couldn't answer any of my riddles.
Yeah. I'm not all day doing that.
Well, Sophia, thank you so much for taking an extended time. I know it's past dinner time, so you got to go. You got to go eat.
Something nice.
You're probably having like bear sausages or something.
No, absolutely not. No way. I wouldn't go anywhere.
I'm sending my friend that clip, and I'm be like, is this what your people are eating over there?
I don't know if it was like a seasonal thing, if it was like a kind of limited time offer, bear sausages, but it was a thing when I was there. And
It's March. You know what that means.
When you're trying to go out there and buy food in the supermarkets in Estonia, you're trying to look for, I don't know, pork.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look for pork. And I see seagull come up. And
No.
like, for real? Do they eat seagull here? It turns out seagull is pork in Estonian.
Oh, like it's actual pork?
It's pork, but the Estonian is seagull. And I just thought, no.
That would kind of mess it up for me.
I literally was so like, sorry.
Because I'd be thinking, is it really pork?
I know. Well, I was looking at thinking, please don't be seagull.
Well, are you sure that bear doesn't stand for chicken or something?
Who knows? They could have been the best chicken sausages I'd ever had. But I don't know. I was just like...
Well, Sophia, thank you so much. You have to come back. Once the movie comes out, we got to talk some more.
I would love to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Or if you decide to do stand-up, then
oh God,
you got to come talk about it. Let me know how that goes.
Well, look, yeah, we'll see what happens. I'll let you know.
So a couple of things quick before you go. Anything else that you're working on that we can kind of keep an eye out for?
So I just did Casualty, which is a British program, but I don't know if it screens.
British programs are very popular over here. We get we get the BBC, the BritBox, all that stuff.
Hey, well, okay, possibly that will come up on your screens over there. And I also am currently working on a World War II film.
What's the name of it?
A Shamrock at My Side. It's about an Irish fighter pilot from World War II. It's based on a true story.
I'm a big World War II buff. I would watch that. Yeah.
I think it's going to do all of the sort of circuits in the UK, and then hopefully it's going to come abroad.
Are you the fighter pilot?
No, no. Although why not? No, but I play a frontline nurse who falls in love with the war hero, but it's unrequited love. And, yeah, it's
terrible.
It's quite sort of a moving, harrowing story.
That's exciting, though. When does that one come out?
So we're still in the process of filming it.
You're filming it.
Give it a while.
So yeah, we got a little while.
Probably next year.
Okay. You got a big year coming next year.
Next year's a big one. Yeah. But next week is exciting because we're premiering in Leicester Square a feature film I did last year in the Lake District. It's a horror, fantasy, sci-fi film. It was
now you're talking my language.
Yeah, it was my first lead in a feature film. It's called Walking Against the Rain.
Yeah. You play Blair.
Yes, yeah. So she's like a kind of badass survivor. It's kind of, I'd say the film's kind of a mix between The Walking Dead and Alien.
Oh, I have to watch this.
Yeah, well, so we're having the world premiere next week in Leicester Square in London.
Is it going to be released though? Like it's going to be out in theaters?
Fingers crossed. I'm hoping we will have a distribution release coming next year.
Okay, you gotta let me know because I read some on this one. I'd like to see this one.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think we're possibly coming to the States next year as well. We've got a few sort of festivals lined up and things, so I'll let you know. But yeah, it's one to look out for on the festival circuit for sure.
If you want to premiere it in St. Albans, West Virginia, we have a lovely little theater here.
Oh, fantastic. We must trade info on this.
Yeah. I'm guessing you have never been to St. Albans, West Virginia.
No, I haven't. I mean, no.
It's very hilly. We have a lot of hills.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, you don't want to come in the summer, though. It's very hot and humid right now. It's
quite hot here in London. We've had a bit of a heat wave.
Yeah. I've been reading about it.
It's been mad. We've been having forest fires. And I was like, that doesn't happen here.
No, it happens here. I know, it
happens to you guys.
I don't like that's spreading.
I know. It's scary, isn't it?
It's not good.
No, I've been to LA, I've been to Las Vegas, I've been to Arizona, and I've been to New York.
But you're staying out west. You need to come cross country.
I know.
We're in the middle, kind of. We're closer to the other, New York, but we're kind of in the middle.
Well, why not? Look, let's trade details.
Yeah, let's do it. So last thing before you go, where can we find you on social media? Because I'm assuming when something happens, you're putting it out there somewhere.
100%. So for Instagram users, I am at Sophia Eleni Official.
Yep.
On Twitter, I am at Sophia Eleni.
Did you have to put the official because there's a bunch of other Yahoos pretending to be you?
Not a bunch of Yahoos pretending, but there are other people called Sophia Eleni, which is a bit annoying.
How dare they?
I know, like, what are you playing at? So I just have to say that I'm official so that people know it's
you.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. No, very good. Very good. And now you're going to do a YouTube channel.
I'm going to see how that goes. I'll be brave and actually post a video, but we'll see.
You need to put some comedy, some music. Let's get this going a little bit.
Okay. No, I like your bold approach. Yeah. Okay.
2022 is going to be is this your year?
It's going pretty well so far.
I was like, what year is it?
I know, like wait. So I feel like we've lost 2 years with.
Oh my gosh. 2020 lasted like 6 years.
It was ridiculous.
And then 2021 felt like it flew by.
I know.
Like zip. And now we're,
what was that all about?
2/3 of the way through 2022 already.
I know.
All right, Sophia, hold on one second. Let me hit. How terrific was that, Sophia Eleni? She was the best. I had such a good time talking with her. She's so fun. I think she'd be a good comedian. So hopefully she takes a chance with that. If you're a D&D fan, I hope you enjoyed that one. At least we got a little bit of insight into the movie, and we'll have her back on once that movie comes out next March. I believe we'll bring her back. Thank you guys so much for tuning in again this week. Don't take you for granted. If you haven't done so yet, we could use the help with our YouTube channel, Meisterkhan Pod. Please subscribe. That would really help us out. You can also find all 450 or so of our episodes, audio and video, on our website, Meisterkhan.com. So definitely check that out as well. Thank you guys so much. Till next time. Bye, everybody.